Hi there, this is Andrew bringing you another Keyforge deck reveal and review. This one, Dark Tidings. Unsurprising. Should be. I think this is the right side. Alright, so we have Volcocetri's Average Rebel. Okay, that's kind of cool. I'm gonna think Sanctum. Logos and Untamed. We got Sanctum, Logos, and Shadows, not Untamed. Okay. And let me break for a second to plug the numbers in. All right. So in Logos here, I will expect draw cards, maybe some archives, some deck manipulation, and just generally speeding things up, trying to push me into some 4 or 5 card turns. In Sanctum, I am hoping for maybe some burst, definitely some board control, and some capture-based Amber control typically. And then in Shadows, I am looking for Steel and some damage, some cards that will damage and do some board control that way. All right. Start with Logos. Ooh, the Australis. So this is the Logos ship. I think is this the only Logos ship? I think so. Certainly the main one. And it's an artifact. It has a bonus amber, and when you action it, you can exhaust up to 3 friendly Logos creatures. And for each creature exhausted this way, play the top card of your deck one at a time. I think this is so good, especially if you have some creatures that where you're like, okay, this isn't the effect I need right now, but I can get this effect, which is just a fantastic effect. So I really like it. Brain Eater, okay. We've got Forgive or Forget, which is a really nice card. Unique effect. I mean, mostly unique effects, and good way to recycle cards. 2 of those, nice. I like it. We have Garwin, which means we're going to get at least 1 theory or conjecture. But Forgive or Forget with Garwin can be a nice way to get cards from your discard pile and then play it right away, potentially. Got 2 Garwins, so I think we'll get at least 2 theory or conjectures. Edai is a staple. It's just such a good card. Play archive a card, and it makes your opponent's keys cost +1 for each card in your archives, and we have it with Forgive or Forget and 2 theory or conjectures. That's going to be pretty good. And then this is Edai is a really good target for the Australis because I mean you could reap with it, but getting to play a card could be better than reaping often. Information exchange, okay, steal 1 if your opponent stole, then you steal an extra one. Submersive Principle is an okay card. I mean it's great at the right moment, okay at the wrong moment. We don't have any tide grabbing effects that I've seen yet, so but it's still, I mean, we'll see. If you need it, then you take the chains and do it. Yeah, a little bit amber control there, another one of those. 2, I think, is an okay number of submersive principles, and if you have to discard them, then that's not the end of the world. Yeah. There's our theory or conjecture. Either archive the top 2 cards of your deck or play it, or play the 1 top card of your deck, and there's 2 of those. So nice. So not a lot of amber pips in here. Really just the one on the Australis. But nice action cards. Only 4 creatures to potentially use Australis with. So we're probably not going to get 3 ever. But still cool if we can pull it off once, I think. All right, Trial by Water. We're into Sanctum now. This is an action. It's a rare, and it has a bonus amber on it. When you play it, you reset the tide, and until the start of your next turn, players cannot raise the tide. So that could actually be really nice, especially since we don't have tide raising effects that we've seen so far. This is a way to just reset things. It's fine. Ooh, Alms Master. Deploy and taunt is nice, and that could be a way to potentially protect like your Edai, your Garwins. I like that. It's 4 power, 1 armor, and a little bit of amber control on it too because it makes its neighbors capture. We got a doorstep to heaven. That's excellent, and that is so cool because you play the doorstep and then forgive or forget, just next turn maybe tucks it right back into your archives. That could be super good. Just, hey, I'm going to use this 4 times or 3 times throughout the course of the game. Don't worry about it. We have a shoulder armor. Very nice for making something big. All right. I'm hoping we get a Urian now that we see the shoulder armor, because Urian with shoulder armor is absurd. We got a Bulwark. That is some nice offensive power there. Heal or harm. You choose to either fully heal a friendly creature and gain an amber, or ready and fight with the friendly creature. Nice. That adds a little speed to the deck, and if that's what we need at a particular moment. Sargassa is interesting. A big creature and gives us a way to do some amber control on an ongoing basis, although, of course, the opponent can take advantage of it as well. Got 2 of those. Wow. And then Cerbevor, a little more taunt here to protect something good. That's great. We got a Staunch Knight, um, who, if they're on a flank, they're as powerful as Sargassa. It's little meh, but um, big body in the right circumstances. And then we do have a Urian. That's great. So Urian, 3 power, 1 armor. After it reaps, you gain amber equal to its armor. And because we have that shoulder armor, that could effectively read reap, gain 3, which, and you already gained the 1 for reap, so at that point you've gained 4. That's pretty good. And we got 2 Urians. Nice. I like that. That's good. So 2 Urians with a shoulder armor. Now, what are we missing? We only have the 1 doorstep. We have the capture on Alms Master. That's really, oh, and then the Sargassas are the only other amber control. So, well, but we have some in Logos too. So I think we're actually pretty okay. And Urian can give us some nice bursts potentially. So I like it. All right. On to Shadows. We have a Brand. I love Brand. It's just a great card. Great way to, that destroyed effect steal 3 is just so strong. And we got 2 Brens. Yay. If you play the 2 Brens, that's a little risky because you're immediately giving your opponent 2 amber, but as long as we can find ways to kill them, we'll be pretty happy. No ways to kill them in our cards that we have right now, and part of the reason for that is we don't have any board wipes here. I'm realizing too, so that's that I'm realizing that's dangerous. We could get into a bad situation there. Monty Bank, interesting. Really risky. Usually you don't want to fire that play effect, so then you're not going to be able to action steal. And it's 1 power, so it's just sitting there. I could imagine a circumstance where we drop this without exalting and then put the Alms Master next to it, and now it becomes action steal 1, which is okay, but underwhelming. If we get loot or pillage, this all becomes much better suddenly. Cement shoes. Is that our first tide raising effect that we've seen so far? Yeah, that is the only tide raising effect we've seen so far. If you deal 2 damage to a creature, if you destroy the creature with the damage, then you raise the tide. So that can be okay. Yeah, it's pretty good. I like it. By the way, we got 2 of these. So, and this is a way to potentially kill the Brand. We'll see. Cement shoes on Hard Simpson is another way to get a quick steal in a pinch. Hard Simpson, such an interesting card. 4 power elusive. After he's dealt damage, you steal 1, but if the tide is low, your opponent steals 1 instead. So it's a little fun to work out the puzzle and try to get the steals out of him. I suppose you could throw shoulder armor on him, and now you can get a couple extra steals, but then you have to work through that armor. It's a little iffy. Ooh, however, if you did some, you got him damaged up, and then you heal or harm, that could be a good way to reset and be able to start stealing again after that. Hobnobber. Action if your opponent has 6 or more steal 2. That could be great. He's just, if your opponent is going to 6, they probably kill him because he's 3 power and not elusive. Kerwallop, really nice so Kerwallop does 1 damage to each creature, and then you gain an amber for each creature destroyed that way. Very nice for the Hard Simpson because it gets in a plink damage to steal 1. Also nice for the Brens because we can either do Cement Shoes on Brend and then Kerwallop, get an amber, or if we really wanted to raise the tide, Kerwallop and then Cement Shoes, and it is a way to get the Brens killed in our Shadow's turn. Mug, another way to do it, to kill the Brend in the Shadow's turn. And if you had like a Brend and then captured onto it with Alms Master, you'd be very happy to mug your Brend, but also okay to use against an enemy creature. When you start having Brends in your deck, you start thinking so much about how to kill your own creatures. Sometimes you have to remind yourself, hey, these damage cards, they can be used to kill the enemy creatures too. It's not exclusively for mine. Got another mug. Yeah, see, I love all this plinky damage out of hand in Shadows. It's really good for the Hard Simpson. It's really good for the Brend. Excellent. We got a Shoulder Id. That quite a lot of taunt in this deck actually. Shoulder Id, underwhelming in practice, but potentially you get a steal or 2 out of that, and we got a second one of those. So the problem with Shoulder Id, I think I talked about this with another Andrew, 1-Star Peeps, is cards like this. Stealing is good, right? Um, but in a moment where it will if it matters, your opponent can choose to just not do it. They can choose to do something else, and so you really need to have pressure. Now maybe you have Edai behind the shoulder id. That's pretty good actually. I mean, 4 taunts means this Edai could be pretty protected. Okay. All right, so having said all that, let's look. Raw Amber Pips, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Only 8 Raw Amber Pips, but we have quite a bit of steel actually. Um, that's probably good for 1 or 2. Then we're looking at 6 here because I think we have enough to pretty consistently kill the Brens. We've got bursts with Urian. And then some really pretty good efficiency in the logos actually. So I think this is, and we have amber control in all 3 houses, right? Because we can steal in the shadows, get a little steal, but then a lot of burn in the logos, and then doorstep and a little bit of capture in the sanctum. So really, uh, really, this seems like a pretty good deck. Hmm, I'm going to say 75. I think SAS might call it lower than that, but I'm going to say 75 and go out on a limb there. I like it, and I'm looking forward to playing it. Hey, SAS says 74, so pretty close there. Has it listed at 18E and 21A, so more amber control even than there is expected amber. No key cheats, but we have good scaling amber answers. Definitely. Decent efficiency, some really nice recursion, a lot of recursion, um, and potential disruption too. Yeah, forgive or forget. We can use it to further our game plan, but we can also use it to mess with the opponents and purge their important cards. So yeah, this is I like this deck, and SAS seems to agree. Um, hey, we're on the same page. That's fun. And I'm looking forward to playing it. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed and that you'll get out and forge some keys.